Welcome back to Polytechnic TRB Chemistry classes. In this class we will see the second unit classes like structure and bonding. We'll see some important points from the second unit, structure and bonding. Earlier we know that octet rule for the bond formations, like in CCl4 the central atom is the carbon atom. It has 4 electrons around it. Each chlorine atom has 7 electrons, each of them sharing 1 electron. So each element like each chlorine has 8 electrons around it, and the carbon atom also has 8 electrons around it to form a bond. So but there are certain cases this octet rule fail to explain the bond formation of the bond between the atoms. Example, here in BH3, like BH3, BF3, BCl3 and aluminum chloride AlCl3 and gallium Cl3. The central atom like boron atom has only 3 electrons around it, and each hydrogen is giving 3 electrons. So total of 6 electrons will be there. Like in all these cases 6 electrons will be there. It has less than the 8 electrons. So these molecules have less number of electrons than the octet. They have the less than 8 electrons. So this octet rule fails to explain the bond formation in these molecules like BH3, BF3, BCl3 and all these things. So they are electron deficient. So because they are less than 8 electrons, they are electron deficient. They can accept electrons and behave as Lewis acids. But this bond formation cannot be explained by octet rules. In the other cases like PCl5, SF6, ClF3, IClF5, IF7. Here the phosphorus atoms has 5 electrons around it, and there are each chlorine has 7 electrons around it. The 5 electrons. The total number of electrons around the phosphorus atoms will be 10. Like here SF6, the total number of electrons around the sulfur atom will be 12. Like here chlorine, it will be 10. Like that they have more number of electrons than the octet, than 8 electrons. So again here this octet rule fails to explain the bond formation in these molecules. They have more number of electrons than the octet. And also in some cases like the molecules which have the odd number of electrons, fail to explain the stability of odd electrons like NO, NO2 and ClO2. They have the electrons like 11 electrons, 17 electrons and 19 electrons. But this octet rule failed to explain the bonding in these molecules. So these are the limitations of the octet rules. But now in this unit there are chemical bonds. Different kinds of chemical bonds are here. So now we will discuss these different types of chemical bonds. Here the chemical bonds can be classified into two types: strong bonds and weak bonds. These strong bonds are formed between the interatomic. They are formed between two atoms or two or more atoms. They are between interatomics and their energies are around 200 kilojoules per mole. But here these weak bonds are intermolecular. They are between two intermolecular forces, but these are between interatomic forces. So they are intermolecular. Their energy levels between 2 to 40 kilojoules per mole. They are very weak, like hydrogen bonds, van der Waals bond. But here these strong bonds can be classified as ionic bond, covalent bond, coordinate bond and metallic bonds. Now here one by one we will discuss all these things. Here I am giving only important points related to the examination point of view. So if you want detail, you can get points from the standard books. Here I am giving only important points for the examination point of view. Now here the ionic bond. Here the ionic bond is formed between the atoms. The electrons, from the transfer of electrons, it is formed due to the transfer of electrons from the electropositive atom to the electronegative atom. That means the electron is completely transferred from the electropositive atom to the electronegative atom, like Na and Cl. Here the Na is the electropositive atom, Cl is the electronegative atom. This one electron, excess electron, is transferred completely to the chlorine atom, like here electronegative electrovalent bond is formed. Now we'll see the factors which affect the electrovalent bond or ionic bonds. Example like atomic size. Atomic size, like larger the atom, they can easily, if it is the atomic size, if the size of the atom is more, it can easily give the electron, so it can easily form the electrovalent bond. And at the same time, ionization energy. Ionization energy is also for the cation. For the cation, if the ionization energy is more, they can form easily electrovalent bond. So like here, Na has more ionization energy like than the Mg2 plus than the Al3 plus. So Na sodium can form easily the ionic bonds. Now charge on the cation. This is the earlier we have seen the charge on the cation. Like that we can also, for this charge of the anion is also there. Anion also can accept the electrons. If they accept the electrons, it can form easily the electrovalent bond. Then electronic configuration. Electronic configuration is also a matter for the formation of electrovalent bond and electron affinity. If it attracts the electron easily, it can form the ionic bond easily. And one more thing is lattice energy. Lattice energy, one more important point that we should keep it for our examination point of view. Questions in the previous examinations, questions have been asked based on this concept. Lattice energy means the amount of energy absorbed when 1 mole of ionic crystal is dissociated in its gaseous reactant. When a mole of ionic crystal is dissociated into its gaseous reactant, the amount of energy released is called as the lattice energy. Here the factors affecting the lattice energy are magnitude of charge. The greater the charge, they have the more lattice energy. If they have the more lattice energy, they can more easily form the ionic bond. That we should keep it in our mind. If they have the more charge, they can have the more lattice energy, and if the lattice energy is more, they can easily form the ionic bond. And the size of the cation, like lithium plus, sodium, potassium, rubidium and cesium. Here these cations, here the size of the cation is increases, but here the size of this lithium is smaller in size, they have the more lattice energy. Increasing the cation size decreases the lattice energy. Likewise here increase in cation size will decreases the lattice energy, and also it decreases the ionic bond formations. Earlier we have seen the atom which has more lattice energy will form easily the ionic bond, but here lithium will have the more smaller in size, will have more lattice energy and can more easily form the ionic bond. So now the increase in lattice energy increases the ionic bond stability. The other one we'll see is covalent bond. Covalent bond, earlier we have seen ionic bond is transferring of electron from one atom to the another atom, likewise cation to the anion. But here this is due to the mutual sharing of electrons between the atoms. Each atom will give 1 electrons or 2 electrons. By sharing these electrons, they can form a bond. This type of bond is called covalent bond. Atoms participating in the bonding contribute equal number of electrons. Example, single covalent. There are different types of covalent bonds are there. Single covalent bond, like they can share only 1 electron between them. Like example, hydrogen here. The single electron around the hydrogen atom is shared between these two hydrogens. They are called single covalent bond. Likewise, in oxygen, they can share 2 electrons. So the double bond is formed between each oxygen atoms. They are sharing 2 electrons. Likewise, in nitrogen they can share 3 electrons. They can form a bond between each nitrogen atom as a triple bond is formed between the nitrogen atoms. Likewise, we can also explain the other bonds in covalent bonds like CO2, ammonia NH3 and H2O. So these are all the different types of bonds, different categories in covalent bonds. There are two types of covalent bonds are here. One is called polar covalent bond and non-polar covalent bonds. We will discuss here. The major difference between the polar covalent bond and non-polar covalent bond is, in polar covalent bond, the bond is formed between dissimilar atoms, like hydrogen is one type and chlorine is one type. And this chlorine is more electronegativity than hydrogen. They can attract the electrons from hydrogen. So it has partially charged like delta minus and delta plus. As there is a partial polarity will be there, H plus and Br delta minus. Likewise, in water molecule, each hydrogen is positively charged, partially positively charged, and oxygen is partially negatively charged. So these kind of bonds are polar covalent bonds. And the other type is non-polar covalent bonds. It is formed between similar atoms. Example, in hydrogen, these two are the hydrogens are chlorine and oxygen. The bond is formed between two similar atoms, and at the same time the bond formed, the sharing of the atoms is concentrated at the center. The shared electron pairs lies in the center, and the electron cloud is uniformly distributed in the non-polar covalent bonds. But in polar covalent bonds, it is moved towards the more electronegative atom, and at the same time the electron cloud is not uniformly distributed. Now we'll see the characteristics of the covalent bonds. Constituents, they are the strong bond forces, but they are not as strong as the ionic bonds. Physical states, here in the physical states, like these covalent bond compounds are usually in all the three forms, like liquid, solid and gases. Solubility, as because they are polar, this dissolves in non-polar solvents only. Example like ether or benzene and CCl4. The electrical conductivity, they are usually unable to conduct the electricity in either the solid, liquid or gases. So covalent compounds generally will not conduct electricity. Melting and boiling points, held together by the weak forces like van der Waals forces. So they have the generally less melting and boiling points, but sometimes some giant molecules like diamond, silicon carbide and silicon, they have the high melting and boiling points. These are some of the exceptions. Now we'll see the difference. And the third one is coordinate covalent bonds or dative bond. Earlier we have seen the covalent bond. The bond is formed between the sharing of electrons, but here the pair of bond is donated by only one type of atoms is called the dative bond. Example like a covalent bond in which both the electrons of the shared pair are contributed by only one of the two atoms. Here this is nitrogen, here this is the boron. These two electrons are given for bond formations to the boron atom, because this boron is electron deficient, this nitrogen is electron rich. It has two electrons. This electron pair is shared to the boron atoms, and this is the type of dative bond or coordinate bond. I'll see the difference. This is an important point for the examination point of view. So if you keep this in your mind, it will be very useful for your examinations. So we'll see the comparison of ionic, covalent and coordinate bonds. Ionic bond, this is the ionic bond, coordinate bond, and this is the covalent bond. Coordinate bond is in between the ionic and covalent bonds. Binding forces, the strength of their bonds between the ions is strong. Ionic bond, between the strength of the ion is very strong. Between the ions is very strong, and the force is due to the Coulombic forces. Here in covalent, they are in between the molecules of smaller. The bonding is between the molecules of smaller atoms. Here they are between the bigger atoms. So they are the van der Waals forces. The molecules are held together by van der Waals forces. They are somewhat stronger, but coordinate bonds are in between. Melting and boiling points. Ionic bonds have high melting points. Covalent bonds have less than the ionic but more than the covalent bonds. This coordinate bond is in between the ionic bond and the covalent bond, but it is covalent bond is less than ionic. Now the conduction, coming to the conduction, like electrical conductivity and thermal conductivity, ionic bonds are the conductors of electricity in the fused states, but in the solid state they will not conduct the current. Example, NaCl will not conduct current in the solid state, but in the fused state or in the aqueous solutions they will conduct electricity. They are conductors of electricity in the fused state and in the aqueous solution. Coordinate bonds, they are greater than the covalent bonds. Covalent bonds are bad conductors, but coordinate bonds, they are the greater than the covalent bonds. I'll see the other important things. Solubility in polar solvents. Solubility in polar solvents like water. Ionic compounds will dissolve in water. They have the high solubility in ionic compounds. And covalent compounds, they are less soluble, but coordinate bonds are in between. In non-polar solvents like ether, CCl4 or benzene, ionic compounds have very low solubility, but covalent compounds has very high solubility. Coordinate compounds have in between. And the physical states,